Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Bandit's Den. No, I didn't get a haircut. I didn't shave my head. I am trying a new hairstyle. First of all, I was tired of my hair getting in my face all the time, having to mess with it all the time, and for me, cutting my hair wasn't an option. And so I sought an alternative route, and I thought, well, a lot of people told me to get dreadlocks. I wonder how cornrows would look. So I went to this place just outside of the war zone, and of course, everybody that was there is from a different cultural background than me. And so going there and sitting there for 2.5 hours was way outside of my comfort zone. But I had a grand old time with everybody there. Everybody there was so fucking nice. And yeah, we had fun, joked around. It was a good experience overall. And, this is somewhat related to the topic because I always encourage you guys to step outside of your comfort zone with the subject that I'm going to, rant again about. I'm going to go on a rant again. And, it's a rant again about not necessarily why being vegan is difficult, but it's because everyone around doesn't understand anything is the most difficult part about being vegan. I mean, the one rule that I live by is pretty goddamn simple. Don't consume animal products. It's pretty simple. And so it just takes a little bit of research, a little bit of being informed about things in order to avoid consuming animal products. And what is wrong with being informed? What is wrong with being educated? Absolutely nothing, in my opinion. And so I'm extremely well informed about a lot of stuff, both nutritionally, the background of products, how they're manufactured, all kinds of stuff. And this whole lifestyle has really brought into my world perspective, and I'm very rarely not amazed at what I can find. It's pretty fun. It's a constant learning experience, and it's something I recommend to everybody. But today's topic is about people who just love to criticize vegans for supplementing B12. They say bullshit like, oh, that's not natural, or, why should I do a diet when I have to, why should I adhere to what you eat if I have to supplement? Well, the thing is, first of all, I'm sure you have all heard of omnivores supplementing their vitamin C or their zinc. I mean, vitamin C and zinc tablets are on every, they're in every store. You can find them everywhere. Everybody has taken them at some point in their life. A lot of people take them regularly as a precautionary measure to make sure that their immune system is as strong as they can get it on their shitty diet. And a lot of omnivores have become iron and vitamin D deficient. I have met so many omnivores that had been or were iron deficient or vitamin D deficient. And vitamin D is in milk, right? The only reason it's in milk, it's not because the cows lay on their back and their udders get lots of sun, because we all synthesize vitamin D from the sun. It's not because all the cows are laying on their backs half of their life, getting lots of sun on their udders, on their breasts before they get milked, It's because humans synthetically put vitamin D into milk. And this is called fortification. It's essentially supplementation through adding something that wasn't originally in a food product that people are going to consume. So at that point, you might as well be taking vitamin D tablets, leaving the D out of the milk, because it's the same damn thing. It's supplementation. Also, iron. A lot of people talk about, oh, you can't get enough iron on a vegan diet, you'll become iron deficient. Well, green vegetables have plenty of iron in them, and that's where animals get the iron that's in their flesh, is from the green things that they eat. All right, But for us humans, it's spinach and broccoli. Broccoli is also pretty high in calcium. I highly recommend eating broccoli. Even though I didn't like it when I was a kid, I fucking hated it. Unless my mom put cheese on it. But yeah, I've met plenty of omnivores that eat meat every day and they're still somehow iron deficient. So it's not like an omnivore diet is 100% perfect either. Not to mention, everybody asks, where do you get your protein though? And I look pretty damn good. I look better than probably 90% of the United States. People ask me where I get my protein. From plants, And that there are almost everybody that goes to the gym seeking to get gains, bro, is drinking something, some kind of shake, some kind of protein shake that's made out of whey, like whey protein, or shit, I don't know what else. Probably some plant-based stuff, but they're supplementing their protein. And so, all these omnivores all around me are taking supplements in some form or another, if not eating fortified foods, which is essentially supplementation. And so why is it people criticize vegans for supplementing B12? It's because they're completely uninformed, uneducated on the subject of B12, its origin, how it's made, where it comes from, and why we have to supplement B12 as vegans. All right, back in the day, before a lot of this industrial shit happened, we didn't have treated water. We used to get our B12 from drinking out of the running streams, lakes, and rivers that we used to drink out of in the wild for millions of years. Before we became a hominid species, we would drink out of all these things. And so our bodies adapted to needing its own B12. Now we drink treated water, and chlorine kills off everything. That B12 comes out of bacteria. The only source for B12 comes out of bacteria that lives in dirt, mostly. Supposedly duckweed has B12 in it, among other things. But for the most part, B12 is derived from bacteria that lives in dirt. And so we wash our vegetables, we wash our fruits before eating them. We have a treated water supply. And so everything that we used to consume that had dirt or got B12 in it from the bacteria that lives in dirt, everything we consume is now devoid of B12. And so everybody has to supplement B12, including omnivores. For the most part, a lot of meat products are B12 fortified because those animals are fed B12 supplements. They're injected with B12. I've seen videos of animals getting injected with B12 not long before the slaughter process. And that's so that the animal has plenty of B12 so it can be healthy, but as a result, its flesh gets B12 in it, and that's where omnivores get their B12. So it's essentially using animals as a filter and fortifying their flesh with a vitamin so that you don't have to worry about it. Of course, I recommend to anybody to supplement B12. I definitely recommend to omnivores to supplement vitamin C and B12 alike, because a lot of omnivores get hopelessly addicted to meat, and that makes up half of their fucking diet, which is the majority of the calories, and they're not eating enough plant foods to get vitamin C. And those supposed carnivores that I see, I've watched some of their videos, and every single video I've watched, they'll be talking about how all they eat is meat and it's so healthy, and talking next to their grill and shit. And right next to their grill, goddamn, what do you see? It's a big old tub of herbs and spices. It's a spice mix, a seasoning mix for their meat. Because meat tastes like shit by itself. You have to add plants, in most cases, to meat to make it taste good. You ever boil some chicken and try to just eat it plain? It's disgusting. Same for pork. It's disgusting. The only thing that's arguably kind of tasty, completely plain, is steak, maybe, but it still tastes like oily cardboard without herbs and spices on it. All right? So I believe that's where these crazies are getting all of their vitamin C, is from the rub that they put on all of their meat. They talk about being, I'm hardcore carnivore, blah, blah, and then they add a bunch of plants to their meat to make it actually taste good enough to eat, which is just absolutely ridiculous to me. But they discount the fact that they're consuming all this plant material, which is probably what's keeping them from getting scurvy, because animal flesh doesn't have any vitamin C in it whatsoever. So without that seasoning shit that they put on their meat, they would be dying from scurvy. But anyways, everybody supplements at least at some point in their life. Me, I don't even take B12 supplements that often. Maybe I'm a little bit deficient, I'm not sure. But I take, a tablet total maybe every 2 weeks or so. Because those tablets have a huge amount in them. They're like 20,000% of your daily value, which I think is just ridiculous. So I cut them in half, and I'll take on average maybe a half every week. So it's extremely cheap to do it that way. You can cut it into quarters if you want. It's not like you have to take the whole pill all at once. But, there's also fortified foods. Just like omnivores drinking defortified milk, you can eat vegan B12 fortified foods. There's nothing wrong with that. Everybody else is supplementing their vitamins and minerals in some way or another, whether they're vegan or omnivore. It's not like we're some special breed that's just so atrocious and disgusting because we take supplements. Everybody takes supplements for the most part in the Western world. All right. A lot of people, they argue that it's unnatural to take supplements. Well, I've seen a lot of people take painkillers, steroids, and antibiotics before and after a surgery. And I've seen a lot of men take supplements to help with fertility, like testosterone supplements and Viagra. And a lot of times ED is directly associated with consumption of animal cholesterol. Your main vein is getting clogged up with all those dead animals. And then you can't get a boner, so then you take a pill to fix it. It's fucking ridiculous. But not only is everybody supplementing really unnatural stuff like that, as opposed to just taking a B12 pill that's derived from bacteria that lived in the dirt. If people are really so concerned about what's unnatural, well then why do you take any form of transportation? Why don't you just walk everywhere? Walk or run everywhere? Why do you wear shoes? I mean, I'm sure earlier humans had crazy calluses on the bottom of their feet so that they could run around without shoes on. Shoes are unnatural. Transportation is unnatural. Why don't you stop using that? Because it's so unnatural. Not to mention other things that get absorbed by your body, like soaps, hair products, makeup, and deodorant, perfumes, colognes, all that shit that gets absorbed by your body. That is completely unnatural and unnecessary. What I use for deodorant most of the time is I use a Salt Rock deodorant. It's just like a stick of salt, and you put it on your underarms. And the idea is it makes the environment under your arms so salty that bacteria can't survive under there. I mean, this is the principle behind preserving foods, right? That's why they're so high in salt, because they're preserved in salt. Because bacteria, for the most part, doesn't like salt. And so you get it salty enough under your armpits, your bacteria isn't going to grow much, and it's not going to cause that BO as quickly. So I just use salt on my underarms. You can find it in the hippy dippy fucking areas of holistic portions of stores like Whole Foods and shit. I have this stick has lasted me over a year. One stick of salt has lasted me over a year, and it was like $4 or something. So not only is the vegan option cheaper, of course there are actual vegan deodorants. But I just find this to be so easy, effective, and cheap that I just go with the salt deodorant. So that vegan option specifically is cheaper than real deodorant. And it's not, putting stuff into your body like, what is it, aluminum oxide that's known to cause Alzheimer's. You're going fucking crazy from that antiperspirant shit. You sweat for a reason, so quit trying to stop natural processes. I mean, people are so fucking worried about unnatural. What's unnatural? Quit putting on antiperspirant. Quit putting on deodorant that has all these fucking synthetic ingredients in them that gets absorbed by your body. You don't know what that stuff is doing to your fucking body. You have no clue. Just like this. I have no clue what this is doing to my body. This is fucking terrible for you. All right? Don't ever start vaping or smoking, everybody. Terrible for you. Bad. But this is one of the last things I need to eliminate. It's just, goddamn, I'm an addict. Fuck. I'm a fucking addict, all right? Just like I was addicted to meat and cheese. I was a hopeless fucking addict. I'd stuff my face with that shit all the fucking time. Nasty, disgusting shit. If we were all so concerned about what's natural and what's not, it's using a tool is unnatural. I guess to a certain extent, using a stick or using a rock is not completely unnatural. There are animals who do that in nature, other than humans. They use tools. But for the most part, all this mechanized shit, that's unnatural. A lot of these people telling me, supplements are unnatural, though. They own guns. Guns are completely unnatural. I mean, look, do you see anything like this that occurs in nature? No. You see any other animal in nature having something they can reach out and touch a threat or prey, from 50 yards? No. That's completely unnatural. Give up your guns. Don't even fucking wear clothes. Clothes are unnatural. Just imagine what all the dyes in this shit is doing when it seeps into your skin, especially when you don't wash your clothes before wearing them when they're brand new. I mean, that's unnatural. Wearing clothes is unnatural. What other animal wears clothes? Just go roll around in some mud. Use mud as clothes. That's natural. So all this fucking concern. So many people get upset. I can't go vegan. That's unnatural. You have to take B12 supplements. Well, the reason why we have to take B12 supplements is because our water system is unnatural. And that's why. Because we live unnaturally, we have to now supplement B12. And that's about it. If you want to be completely natural, go drink out of a stream. Yeah, you'll get cholera and all kinds of crazy shit. But you'll get your B12 from a natural source instead of from a fortified piece of meat that was sawn off of a cow or a pig or a chicken, instead of a piece of rotting flesh, and instead of taking a nice neat little pill that's sanitary, and instead of eating vegan foods that are B12 fortified, you know what? Go natural. Go completely natural and go drink out of a stream and die from dysentery. That is the only natural source, really, for B12. Either that or just don't wash your fruits and veggies. And there's no way to measure how much B12 is in this dirt versus that dirt. There's no way to measure it in-house, So it's kind of a flip of a coin whether you're eating dirt off of your carrot or potato that has B12 in it or not. It's kind of a flip of a coin at that point. Me, I don't worry too much about washing my fruits and vegetables. I give them a nice quick rinse. Yeah, some granules of dirt end up in my soup or my curry or whatever I'm making with potatoes or carrots. Yeah, granules of dirt get in there sometimes. But I don't mind because I cook it at a high enough temperature to kill all the bacteria anyways. Not to mention, it's not as disgusting as eating somebody's corpse that died 2 or 3 weeks ago. And that's what I used to do as an omnivore. I used to eat pieces of somebody else's corpse that was killed in a horrific manner 2 or 3 weeks prior to me ingesting it. That's disgusting. Any human that has been dead that long is already in the dirt or cremated. And that should tell you a lot about whether you should put that crap in your mouth. Disgusting. But I never thought of it that way. Yeah. If you're so concerned about being natural, don't refrigerate or freeze your meat. See what happens. Anyways, guys, I'm totally fine with continuing being unnatural. I drive to work, I don't work right now because I'm having fun. But when I do work, I drive to work. I wear clothes. I wear safety material because I work in construction. I use tools. I have a vape, which I do enjoy too much, and I am getting really tired of I keep mentioning it. I have a hydroponic system that's really fucking fun. I'm completely unnatural, bro. I drink out of the tap, which probably isn't good for me. I should probably drink bottled water. But yeah, I drink filtered and treated water, whether it's bottled or not, so that I don't get some life-threatening disease or worms that latch on to my intestines and eat half of my calories and end up looking like I'm starving, even though I'm eating more calories than I ever have in my life. Shit like that is prevented by being unnatural. Modern medicine is unnatural. So I'm completely fine being unnatural because it's saved my life more than one time, I'm sure, and probably many other times that I'm completely unaware of. So I'm going to go ahead and keep supplementing my B12 levels. So you guys have a fantastic day. Enjoy yourselves. Go vegan. It's the only path toward living a peaceful life. Of course, my life isn't entirely peaceful. Klaus bites me sometimes, and I bite him back. And, sometimes people threaten me, and I have to diplomatically insist that things would go very bad for both of us if they follow through with their threat. And, my life could be a lot more peaceful, but I'm doing my best, and I think that's what everybody should do, is their best. Anyways, thanks for joining me, guys. Peace out, for real, and I'll see you in my next rant. Later.